Hello and welcome to a beginner's guide to the tools in Stardew Valley. This short video is going to give you an explanation of the tools, how they work, how you can upgrade them so they work better, and general strategies on when to actually upgrade those tools. For starters, when you begin the game, you're going to have 5 tools available to your disposal. You're going to have an axe, a hoe, a watering can, a pickaxe, and a scythe. Real simple explanation as to how they actually work is the axe is going to chop wood, the hoe is going to till soil, the watering can is going to water that soil, the pickaxe is going to break rocks, and the scythe is going to cut weeds and grass. Big thing to remember about that scythe is that it does not use any energy when you use it. That can be important early in the game because you can be productive even after you've run out of energy just by running around your farm, swinging that scythe and clearing out any weeds that you can get to. Probably not a bad idea to leave a little bit of grass, so when you see those patches, leave 1 or 2 of those at minimum because eventually you're going to need that grass for hay for your animals. When you begin the game, your tools are not going to be very efficient. For example, if you want to plant a 3x3 plot of seeds, you've got to swing your hoe 9 times, put the seeds down, and then use your watering can 9 times to cover all of those spots. If you upgrade your tools to even the copper level, that process becomes way quicker and more efficient simply because your hoe can cover 3 spots in a row directly in front of you, and then your watering can do the same. So instead of it taking nine swings of the hoe and nine uses of the watering can, you can do 3 and 3 respectively. It's quicker, it's more efficient, and it uses less energy, which is the most important part of this process. Now let's talk about how to actually upgrade your tools. So Day 5 of your first season, you're going to get a letter in the mail from Joja Corporation about a drilling accident that they had up in the mountains. That means basically that you now have access to the mines. When you go into the mines, you're going to be able to collect resources like copper, iron, and gold, as well as coal. You're going to need a little bit of all of those and eventually iridium, and those are the resources that you're going to use to smelt copper, iron, gold, and iridium bars respectively, and those are what you're going to need along with some cash to go to Clint's and ask for him to upgrade these tools for you. A general explanation of the process as to how you get those bars: if you need 1 copper bar, you will need 5 copper ore and 1 piece of coal. If you have those items in your possession, select the copper, interact with your furnace, and it will smelt that copper bar for you. If you plan on upgrading a tool, make sure that you have those bars already smelted and ready to go and the cash to afford that upgrade. But those upgrades are definitely worth it. Each upgrade is going to cost 5 bars of whatever level tool you are trying to upgrade to. So for example, if you're going to try and upgrade from a regular hoe to a copper hoe, you're going to need 5 copper bars. There's also going to be an amount of cash involved. I'm going to flash this on the screen here in an image so that you can get a quick glance as to what to expect in terms of general cost to upgrade the hoe, axe, pickaxe, and watering can respectively. So keep those in mind. They can be a little bit pricey, but they are absolutely worth it in the long run. Now, early in the game, it can be difficult to decide which tools to upgrade first. I will say that in general, the 2 that are highest on the list early in the game are going to be the pickaxe and the axe. A lot of people like to go for the pickaxe first so that it makes it easier for them to get through the mines more quickly and gather more and more ore so that they can upgrade the rest of their tools. Others like to go for the axe, and while that is being upgraded, they go to the mines and just collect a bunch more ore as much as they can so that by the time their axe is done, then they're ready to drop off their pickaxe and then stay productive by going around chopping wood with their freshly upgraded axe. The hoe and the watering can usually fall a little bit lower on the list. I would say that they tend to be a little bit underrated simply because it depends on how you're going to play the game. If you're going to focus on crops, then that hoe and that watering can be important to upgrade early so that you're far more efficient on the farm. All in all, what I will say is that the general advice is to think ahead as to why you want to upgrade each specific tool. Have a strategy in mind and just execute that strategy. One piece of advice in regards to upgrading the watering can is to keep an eye on that forecast. If you wake up in the morning and you see that it is calling for rain the next day, that is going to be a good day to upgrade that watering can, because what you'll want to do is go ahead and water your crops. Take your watering can to Clint's and drop it off to have him upgrade it, because the next day it's going to rain. The following day you can pick that watering can up as soon as Clint opens, get back to your farm and water, and you don't miss any days of watering your crops. It's not critical that you do it this way, because you can miss a day of watering your crops. Just be careful that that missed day doesn't cost you to slip into the end of the season to where those crops don't reach full maturity and you can harvest them. There are a few other pieces of equipment that you can upgrade throughout the process of the game. The new one that they added with one of the more recent updates is the trash can. This can be advantageous to do, but probably one that you'll want to wait to do until later in the game. But basically, you can upgrade your trash can so that when you throw items in there, you actually recover a portion of their sell value. So instead of it just going into the trash and being out of your inventory altogether, you actually get a little bit of cash in hand and clear the space from your inventory versus having to put it into the shipping bin or take it to Pierre's, etc. Your fishing rod is the one example of a tool in game where not only can you upgrade it, you can actually downgrade it technically. If you are a beginner and really having trouble getting used to the mechanics of the fishing in the game, might not be a bad idea to check out the training rod. That can help you really get a feel for how the meter works and get a little bit more confidence before you decide to go back to the regular rod or upgrade to either a fiberglass rod or an iridium rod. Now, fiberglass is going to allow you to add bait to your rod, and that's going to allow you to catch fish more quickly. The iridium rod not only allows you to add bait, but it also has a spot for tackle that can make it easier to catch fish as well. Some other tools to keep in mind that you come across in the game are a backpack upgrade that's going to give you more space in your inventory. You can get that from Pierre's, and there are actually 2 levels of upgrade available there. There is a golden scythe that you can get from the quarry mine, but you won't have access to that for a while, and probably have some content for another video altogether. Then there are going to be some items like the pail, the shears, a heater that you will use in your barn for your livestock. You can also get a copper pan eventually in the game where you can actually pan for ore in places around town. And finally, a big one for your livestock situation is the auto grabber. It's expensive, but it is absolutely worth it. Whenever you get to the point where you can afford those for your coop and your barn, highly recommend that you get a couple of those. That's going to do it for this edition of Stardew Valley Tutorials with your host, longtime listener. Be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, comment below, and we'll see y'all next time.